Imagine a dog that says, I'm going to go for a master's program, I'm going to go for a PhD program, I'm going to take an online course because I want to improve my skills, I want to improve my abilities, I want to become a better version of the dog that I am. Or imagine a cat that says, I want to enroll for a new program because I want to upskill, upgrade, or reimagine myself based on the current financial, economic, and political situation. The difference between human beings and animals is that human beings do have the abilities to plan their growth. You and I can plan to move from one phase and one stage of our life to another. We can decide to upgrade ourselves. We can decide to upgrade our skills. We can plan our growth. Animals do not have that advantage. They do not have that abilities. But you and I can decide, I want to improve on my communication skills. I want to improve on my writing skills. I want to improve on my people skill. I want to grow spiritually. I want to grow mentally. I want to grow financially. I want to grow economically. I want to empower myself. I want to be a better version of who I am already. But animals do not have that. Unfortunately, oftentimes human beings do not take that ability to plan their future, to plan their growth. And so we allow years to pass by and we are the same people, we remain the same people, speaking the same old way, doing things the same way for years. We don't improve on our skills. A dog will never say that I want to go for a program so that I can know how to bark in the 21st century. Or I'm afraid of what is happening with artificial intelligence. I don't want to become irrelevant. So I want to go for a training course. I want to upgrade myself and retool myself in this age. In this course, Principles of Personal Growth, I address some of the principles or some of the things that you and I can do to improve our growth, to move from one phase to another so that we become a better version of who we are already, or the best version of who God created us to be before leaving planet Earth. Join me in class as we explore this course, as we explore the different principles and the different opportunities that we have to become a better version of who God created us to be. Personal growth is a positive transformation of one's mindset, attitude, knowledge, resulting from a strong desire to constantly upgrade one's skill set and knowledge for the ultimate purpose of fulfilling a God-given dream, assignment, purpose, and mission in life. Why is growth an important thing? Why should you and I pursue personal growth? The first reason that you and I should pursue personal growth is that we have a lot of gifts and talents and potentials lying within us. It is only through growth that we can discover those potentials and use those potentials to fulfill our God-given dreams and assignment in life. If we don't pursue growth, we will not know what we have. We will not know the potentials we have. We will not know the gifts we have. We will not know the strength, the inner strength we have. We will not know even the calling that is upon our lives. So it is so important for you and I to pursue personal growth so that we will be able to know what we have within us. We'll be able to know our potentials. We'll be able to know our true worth. Another key reason why you and I should pursue personal growth is that only those who are intentional in pursuing personal growth will arrive at the great future that is placed ahead of them. We have sometimes these great promises placed ahead of us, great prophecies, great potentials, but we might die without ever achieving or getting to that great future. And the reason is simply because we are not intentional in pursuing our personal growth. We allow our personal growth to chance. We allow our personal growth to our leaders. We allow our personal growth to our agencies and organizations. We allow our personal growth to others. We are not intentional in pursuing our personal growth. Only those who are intentional in pursuing their personal growth will arrive at that great future that is ahead of them. The third reason why you and I should pursue personal growth is simply because the distance between the dream that is in your heart, your childhood dreams, and the great future that is ahead of you is locked up in personal growth. There is a great difference between the dream that you have, your desires that you have, and the reality of that dream. And it is locked up in personal growth. It is only through personal growth that you can be able to access those childhood dreams, that you can be able to fulfill or get to that dreams that you have ever dreamt of. It's only through personal growth. Personal growth will help you to get into those dreams. Another key reason why you and I should pursue personal growth is that other people's destiny is tied to your personal growth. If you do not grow, you won't arrive at that great future that is placed ahead of you. And that also has a very strong impact on those whose destinies are tied to yours. There are great destinies tied to your destinies. There are people's destinies tied to your destinies. And they can only unlock their destinies once you start unlocking your own destiny through personal growth. Once you start growing to become that person who God created you to become. When you start taking those strides and those steps and those risks in getting into your future and into your purpose and into your assignment and into your calling, you are also encouraging them to start taking steps towards fulfilling their own dreams and their own assignment. That's why it's so important for you to grow, because that destiny is tied to your destiny. If you do not grow, they would not grow. If you do not grow, you will not inspire them to grow. If you do not grow, you will not challenge them to grow. Especially when it comes to thought leaders, especially when it comes to faith-based leaders, inspirational leaders. If you don't grow, you won't inspire others. You won't be passionate enough to inspire others to find their own purpose, fulfill their own dreams, and consequently inspire others also. So that's why it's so important for you to grow. And lastly, it's so important for you and I to grow because as a leader, be it a thought leader, be a leader in a faith-based organization, be a leader in an agency, in the corporate world, if you do not grow, you will start suppressing the growth of others. You will start to push down or pull down others when they want to grow. And the reason is simply because you will be threatened with other people's growth. You will be threatened when your subordinates start growing. You will be threatened when your peers start growing. You start fighting them. You start pulling them down. You will start pushing them. You will start suppressing their growth. So it is so important for you to grow. These are some of the key reasons why you and I should pursue personal growth. God bless you. It's very, very important that you understand the principle of personal philosophy or the principle of personal ideology, because your growth in life will depend on how you build your personal philosophy or how you build your personal ideology. Personal ideology is very, very important in growing and fulfilling the purpose, the assignment, and the mission for which you were created, dispatched, and sent here on planet Earth. And so the first key thing to understand about personal philosophy is that the information that you receive from your parents, your colleagues, your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, from God, will determine your personal philosophy. The things that people have said to you and you have come to believe as truth will define your personal philosophy. So yeah, it's sum total of the things your parents, your friends, your teachers, your classmates, and even the devil or God has said concerning you. The things that you have come to accept as truth, the things that you have come to believe as truth about yourself, brings out your personal philosophy. And you either succeed or fail in life depending on how you develop your personal philosophy. Your growth in life will depend on how you develop your personal philosophy. And this is very, very important because you cannot live above your thought life. The quality of your life is depending on the quality of the thoughts that you keep. What kind of thoughts do you keep concerning yourself? What kind of things do you believe concerning yourself? Do you believe what others have said? Do you believe you are a failure? Do you believe that you are not handsome? Do you believe that you're ugly? If these are the things that you believe concerning yourself, these are the things probably told by the devil. These are the things probably told by your friends and even by your parents. If you believe these things are truth, that builds the basis or the foundation of your personal philosophy, and you operate in life based on these things. So you have to be careful, to be intentional on the things that you allow go through your subconscious mind, the things that you allow go through your mind, the things that you allow go through your subconscious mind, because these things will constitute the basis or the foundation of your personal philosophy. This is very, very important because if we have to fulfill our God-given dreams and fulfill our God-given assignment, then we have to believe what is right. We have to develop an ideology that is in line with our purpose, with our calling, with our assignment, with our mission here on planet Earth. You will never fulfill your mission on planet Earth if you don't develop the ideology and the philosophy that is linked to that mission, that is linked to that purpose. You will never fulfill your God-given dreams and assignment in life if you don't develop an ideology that lines up or aligns with that mission, with that assignment. If we're called to lead a nation, then you have to develop a philosophy that leads to that assignment, onto that calling. If we're called to deliver a people, then you have to develop a philosophy, a belief system that aligns with that assignment. If you are called to lead people out of poverty, you have to develop a philosophy and ideology that links to that assignment. If we're called to lead people into a life of holiness and sanctification, then you have to develop a mindset, a philosophy, a belief that lines up with that purpose and with that assignment. So it's very important for you to constantly watch the kind of thoughts that go through your mind, because the thoughts that go through your mind, what you think on constantly, what you meditate on constantly, becomes your dominant thought, and your dominant thought defines your life, and you manifest in life based on that dominant thought. So what kind of thoughts do you have about yourself? What's your personal philosophy about yourself? Do you see yourself as a coward? Do you see yourself as a disgrace? Do you see yourself as a make it? Your personal philosophy in life is very, very important. Watch on what people say concerning you, and even what you say concerning yourself. Is it true? Is it in line with your assignment? Is it in line with your purpose? Is it in line with your calling in life? Because you can never operate above your thought life. You can never operate above your thinking pattern. You should be able to understand that not every environment can fertilize the dream that is in you. Not every environment has been designed to fertilize the dream that is in you. This simply means that there is something placed within you. You have a dream in your heart. You have a dream in your life. And that dream needs constant nourishment, constant watering for it to grow. And not every environment has what it takes to fertilize or to cause that dream within you to flourish. The dream that is within you has to be constantly nurtured. And the people you keep around you will constitute your environment, And your environment will determine how far or how fast or how slow you go in life. Be intentional to select those that you keep around you, to select those that you allow them to speak into your life, especially speak into the things that concerning your dreams, speak into the things that concerning your purpose and your assignment in life. Not everybody is allowed to speak into your dreams. Not every person is allowed to speak into your purpose. Not every person has been created or wired to say things concerning your destiny, purpose, and your mission in life. So the people you keep around, if they are eagles and you are an ostrich, if you are not careful, they might say things that will slow you from getting into your God-given dreams, from getting into your God-given assignment, getting into your God-given purpose. So environment is very, very key. Who are you keeping around? Are the people that you bring into your heart, into your life, into your space, are those people saying things that cause you to grow? Are those people saying things that cause you to fulfill your assignment? Are they helping you to grow? Are they helping you? Are they challenging the greatness and the dream in you to come forth? Are they saying things that will push you into the next level of your dream and your purpose and your calling in life? Environment is very, very key, because environment will determine how fast or how slow you go in life. Environment will determine whether you are growing or you are not growing. And remember, if you don't grow to become that person that you were created to be, you cannot fulfill the assignment that you were created to fulfill. So watch on those you keep around you. Watch on your friends. Watch on those you call teachers. Watch on those you call your leaders, even spiritual leaders, because the things they say will either keep you or destroy you. The things they say will either keep you in the days of difficulties and challenges or will break you. The things they say will either make you when life throws challenges on you, or they will destroy you. Remember, environment is very, very important. Hello, welcome. We want to talk on the principle of companionship. You know, lions and lambs, they are of the same animal kingdom, but they don't keep company. Eagles and hawk, they're all birds. One flies and the other one walks. Companionship is very, very important. The people you hang around with will decide your destiny. They will contribute to your destiny. The people you keep around you, they're either fertilizing your dreams or they're talking down your dreams. Your companion, the people you allow to speak into your heart, the people you allow to get into your decision-making processes, they'll either make you or they will break you. The people you sign up, the people you are friends with, the people who mentor you, they will decide your destiny. Don't allow life to force companionship on you. Choose your friends. Choose wisely the people you allow to come into your inner space. Choose wisely the people you allow to come into your heart where you make your decision. Choose wisely the people that you allow to come into your space. If you constantly walk with people that are not going towards your direction, eventually you will find that you end up in their own direction. So decide where you want to go and walk with people that are walking towards that direction, because companionship is very, very key. The people you choose to work with, not because you are from the same environment with someone, not because you are from the same village, not because you have the same nationality means that you, not because you studied with somebody in a certain institution, not because you work with somebody with a certain institution, that you have to work with that person for the rest of your life. Sometimes we should learn how to say bye-bye, to learn how to let people go because they are not going towards our direction. You cannot walk with all the people you graduated from elementary school with. You cannot go in life with all the people you studied in secondary school with. You cannot go in life with all the people you studied with at the university. No. You have to choose some certain people that are going towards your direction, because as you grow on in life, somehow, sometimes,
some people start falling off. As a matter of fact, some people have to fall away because they are not going towards your direction. And if you're going to go towards the road of greatness, the Bible says that great is the way that leads to destruction, but narrow is the path that leads to life. Narrow is the path that leads to greatness. Narrow is the path that leads to becoming a great person, to becoming a leader. But great is the gate that goes to. You find so many people entering that gate, so many people entering the gates of going towards nowhere. So you have to choose wisely. You have to choose wisely in life. You will not walk with all your friends in the elementary school, in the secondary school, in the high school. You will not walk with them to the end of your life because they were not meant to be part of your life all your life. They were meant to be part of your life in certain times and in certain seasons. The people were meant to be in your life in certain times and certain seasons. You must understand when that season is over. You must be able to be grateful to them. You must be able to be thankful to them. But you may not have to continue with them for the rest of your life. And sometimes we'll have to learn to let people go. We have to learn to understand that certain people came in our life in certain times and they contributed greatly towards our life, but they are not going towards our direction. And we must be able to take that hard choice of moving on because we must move on. This is the principle of companionship and it's very, very important. If you have to get into your God-given destiny, your God-given assignment, not everyone will get there with you. Sometimes you have to walk alone. And so when you walk alone, then you can come back and take so many people with you. Companionship is very, very important. As leaders, we must be able to know that there are times in life that we will walk alone. There are times in life that we have to let some people walk alone in order to come back and walk with them. We want to talk on source as a principle of personal growth. Knowledge of source is the foundation of any true growth. If you don't know your source, you cannot truly grow to become who you were created to be. And if you know your source, if you don't acknowledge your source, you cannot truly grow to become everything that God created you to become. God is our source. God is the source of everything. And so if you don't acknowledge God, if you don't know Him, and if you don't stay connected to Him, you will not grow to become everything God created you to become. And this is very, very important because if you take a fish out of the sea, it might survive for a couple of seconds or minutes, but eventually it's going to die. So if we take ourselves out of God and if we don't acknowledge God, we are not acknowledging the true source of life, and eventually we're going to somehow die. We start dying when we fail to acknowledge God, because source will tell you where you are as where you're supposed to be. If you don't know your source, you will not know exactly where you are. Even when you know where you are, you will not know exactly where you are supposed to be. So, your growth, your fulfillment in life, your significance in life will depend on how much you know and acknowledge your source and stay to that source. Scripture tells us that without Him we can do nothing, and truly without Him we can do nothing. And Scripture says that if we must be able to abide in Him so that we may be able to do everything He created us to be. If we don't know our source, we will start measuring ourselves with others. We will start measuring our success and our failures based on what others have done or what others have not done. But our source will actually tell us where we are supposed to be. Our source will tell us where we are failing. And so it's very important for us to go back to our source and measure whatever thing we do in life based on our source. Operate based on our source, and it takes us back to God. God is our source. We cannot think we can do all He wants us to do, He created us to be, if we don't acknowledge Him and if we don't stay connected to Him.
In 2000, the United Nations established the Millennium Development Goals, a set of targets and goals that world leaders put in place to address some of the political and socio-economic challenges that the world was facing and that the world is currently facing. Those plans were later on translated in the Sustainable Development Goals, with target in 2030 to solve some of the current challenges, some of the current economic, political, environmental challenges that the world is facing. Regional bodies like the African Union has Agenda 2063 to address some of the challenges that Africa as a continent is facing. And countries do have set of goals, development goals, they have put in place in order to on how to become emerging countries. It's important that individuals should have goals on how to fulfill their plans and their purpose here on planet Earth. You should have a plan and a strategy on how you plan to succeed in life and what you plan to pass on to your children, your children's children, and even to the next generation. You can't change the world by wishing. You change the world by planning on and having a strategy on how you want to contribute to make that positive change in the world. So just like these organizations have plans, you must have your own plan, your life goals or your life plans. And from your life plans, you should be able to break it down to 30 years goal, 20-year goal, a 10-year goal, 5-year goal, and eventually you may want to go to yearly goals, monthly goals, and weekly goals. Why is goal setting important in personal growth and development? First, planning gives you a sense of direction. It tells you where to go, where to put your resources, where to put your energy, and where to focus your time and your skills and your talent. Life is like an emotion. If you don't capture it, it will grow in every direction. So you want to capture your life so that and trim your life to follow a certain direction so that you don't grow just everywhere. Planning is important because planning captures the details of your life in a strategy. If you have to make an impact in this life, if you must make an impact in this life, then you have a strategy on how you want to make that impact. You can't change every area in the world, but you can get a certain space or a certain area, focus your energy and your skills and your talents and your abilities and bring change in that area. So by bringing change in that area, you are contributing to the overall change of the world. To do this, you need a plan. Hope you'll be able to use the resources that we have to come out with your life plan, which will be a set of goals for all the things you intend to accomplish before you leave planet Earth.